let's have super gay story time with senpai. So when I first came out of the closet, it was to a guy I was dating at the time. And a little while later, we're kind of getting to the point where things can get a little more intimate. And I was like, oh wow, I've never done this before. And I didn't really want to be on the receiving end because I just didn't want to. I had my reasons. So when I told him about my hesitations, he's like, oh, that's fine, don't worry about it. You can top. And I'm like, being the naive little shit that I was, okay. So a little time passes and we finally start getting into it, and as you can probably imagine, it was a disaster. First off, the guy was like twice my size. If you've never seen me in person, I am just over 5'5", really kind of just about 5'5". So essentially I stopped growing when I was like 12 or 13, and this guy was 6'6", so he had continued growing through most of his teenage years. He also had a little bit of muscle on him, so he was kind of heavy, and I was not. I was a small guy. I had no muscle mass whatsoever. So as you can probably imagine, it didn't go so well. We tried a bunch of different poses and it just wasn't working. He was too big, I was too small, like nothing was aligning that needed to be aligned, and eventually we decided just to put him on his back and put him in my lap, and that finally worked. I couldn't really do it, and I failed miserably because of just everything that was going on. There was a horrible strain on my neck, my back was hurting, I was supporting his weight while trying to do all the work, and it was just a disaster of a situation. It was the worst. And I thought, and if you've been watching the vlogs for a while, you know that the love interest is a pretty big dude. He's about the same height as the guy I was with. He's 6'6". He had a whole bunch of muscle, like this guy's super mega buff, and our main character is pretty much like your average guy. Like at best, Finn has kind of like a he's got like a swimmer's build, but still kind of on the scrawny side. So I thought it would be fun to kind of try to recreate that scene. And a lot of this game is coming from my own experiences. It's actually been giving me a lot of anxiety because of it, because it touches on a lot of topics that just I don't want to talk about. No one really wants to talk about. That's my toilet in the background. And I'm trying to draw out the concept right now for the CG, and it's just not going well. Like, I know that my character artist will be able to make things a lot better because this is what she does, you know. She draws people, and she's really good at drawing muscular builds, and she's really good at drawing sort of like erotic scenes, even though this isn't really erotic, it's just really awkward. So this is kind of like the concept that we're going for. It looks atrocious. I completely understand that. Because of the size differences, or not even really the size differences, it's because of the position that they're in. I couldn't get the anatomy right with him. This was really bad. His arm looks, it's a little short up top, but I have been struggling for like 3 hours on this, and I am about ready to give up because I don't fucking know how to fix this. I'm probably just going to have to send this to the artist as is, like, because she's gonna be able to make it look nice, and I am just losing patience. I don't even know what I was doing with his arm here. I wanted his arm up so he had like a hand in Finn's hair back here, and apparently he's touching his dick. So that's been my Sunday. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already heard this story, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, it's nothing special. So I work in an office. It's got my lights, it's got this light, it's got my background that I never see anymore because my chair is always blocking it. So I work in an office and I make CG sketches. I don't know if I explained why in past videos, but I kind of just create concepts for my character artist to work off of, because my character artist is Vietnamese and she struggles a lot with English. Like, out of everyone on the team, she's the one that really struggles the most, so it just kind of helps to give her some sort of reference to go off of, as well as an explanation of what I want in a CG. So I was creating a bunch of CG concepts that just happen to be 18+ scenes. And my husband is super straight. Like, he doesn't want anything to do with peen. He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to be around it. He doesn't want to hear about it. So, a little while ago, and by a little while ago I mean like a couple days ago, I was playing Halo with a couple of our friends, and he walks into the office for whatever reason. He never comes in here because he doesn't have a need to. Like, he doesn't work from home, he works in the Navy, so he leaves for that. So this is kind of like my domain, and as a result, I kind of have my own system that usually involves leaving my work scattered all over the place. So you can kind of get where this is going. I left my CG concepts all over the desk, and he walks in and he looks over and it's just like butt sex and peen everywhere. Guys eating other guys out, and he walks out. And he is like shell-shocked. Like, he walks out looking like someone just ran over his dog. He's so startled. And he looks over at me like in those fucking anime comedic scenes where they kind of go he's like, what are you doing in there? So I pretty much had a bunch of stuff like this all out, and the poor guy did not handle it well. And we were playing Halo 3 on Legendary with a couple skulls on, so it wasn't really the time to start like losing my shit, but I couldn't help it. I was dying. It was so funny. But anyways, yeah, you've seen some of the concepts, and I absolutely 100% regret making the main love interest some like super big muscly guy, because the anatomy is just weird. Like, it's difficult because the big guy bottoms, so like if he was a topping, that would make things like 800 million times easier. But no, I'm like, let's put him on the bottom because that makes more sense for the story. So I'm pretty much stuck like this. Thankfully my character artist is going to be able to make this look way better than I can. But yeah, turns out making the little guy top is really fucking difficult to draw. So the main character of Daddy Lies, Finn, has a really gnarly scar on his thigh. It's actually a really important part to his story. It can't be left out. And in one of his outfits, he is wearing pajama shorts, which don't cover the thigh. I don't really know why our artist went with that, but I wasn't gonna question it. He looks kind of cute. Anyways, so I was going through to see what sprites we needed. I figured, okay, I've got just about everything, and I don't. No, because you know what I did? I left out his fucking scar on so many sprites. So many sprites are missing the scar, and it's like, it's not gonna be that difficult to fix. Like, it's actually a really easy fix because all I need to do is open up the sprites and then plaster on the scar and make sure they're all uniform, and then we're done. But that's still annoying. It's just time consuming. That's the worst part about all of this. It's so time consuming. Look at all those eyebrows. This is what happens when you compile like 20 expressions onto one person's face. There's so much eyebrow. I did it again. I was redoing the sprites to put the scar in, and I forgot to put the scar in. Why am I so dumb? Why are there so many sprites? Meow. 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 So if you follow me on social media, you already know this, but we recently finished the entire set for Finn sprites, and I'm super happy with them. I spent an entire day going through and assembling all of them, because the way that the sprites work is there are the bases, which have all of their poses, all of their outfits, and then there are a bunch of expressions. So I pretty much went through and attached every expression variant to every outfit and every pose, and it took literally an entire day. And the next day, my artist emails me and she's like, you know, I'm not really excited about Finn's face, you know, I'm not really happy with it. I kind of want to make him look a little more feminine. Can I go ahead and change it? And I'm like, girl. I was like, nah, he looks fine. He doesn't need to be changed. I'm not spending an entire fucking day doing this. No. 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 But if you are a patron, we already have the full sprite set available on Patreon, so you can go check that out now. We also have released 2 pieces of the OST so far. So we released the afternoon theme, which is kind of like the generic happy theme for everyday scenarios, and we released Finn's theme. I don't know what's going on with my exposure lately. My camera just kind of like bleh. But there was the afternoon theme, and we also released Finn's theme, which is a little slower. It has its issues, like when the composer hits certain low keys, it kind of sounds weird in the speakers, but because background music is already going to be kind of low, you're not going to be able to hear that, so I'm not entirely worried about it. But we're thinking of just starting with 3 songs. I'll post the 3rd song in a little while before we start the Kickstarter, and then after the Kickstarter we're going to be able to make more music. Also, my character artist apparently quit her job. I don't know why. I didn't really think it was right for me to ask for details if she wasn't going to give any. So she's actually going to be working on the character art full time. So I'm hoping that Kaloa, the main love interest, is going to be finished sooner than Finn, because Finn took something like 2.5 months to finish.